that I've tried out there. And so for that reason alone, it's hard to switch off the iPhone ecosystem here in 2025. So one of the things I like to use a lot with the iPhone is the Apple Watch Ultra. And the reason for this is because the Apple Watch Ultra is just such a great overall companion to that device. And I've tried the Galaxy Watch Ultra, which is also freaking amazing. This is one of the best watches Samsung's made, even though some people would say it looks just like an Apple Watch. The actual usability is very good, but the way the Apple Watch and everything works with iPhone, it's just a little bit better. Like everything, especially the Mac, the iPad, the iPhone, they all kind of have like similar looking icons, similar looking feel. It's not like on Android when I go from Windows to Android to Windows to, it just feels more fragmented over there. So I definitely still love Android phones by themselves and Windows laptops by themselves. Like the Surface, I like the Surface laptop, but I like using my Galaxy phone. But an iPhone, using the iPad, the iPhone, and the Mac, everything works very well together. So that makes it a little bit of a better experience. So the next one is AirDrop doesn't have like any real rival. We do have the quick share on Samsung and stuff like that, but basically everyone knows how to AirDrop between different devices. So if you have AirDrop on here, people know to go to the other device and just AirDrop. And a lot of people know others that will AirDrop to each other. So I just find that the AirDrop experience is just better. So that's going to go in at number 2. Now, better is obviously subjective, but I think as a whole, most people know AirDrop was like the first to do that feature very well. So I don't find it to be a major issue. So that's a second reason why I'm not switching. Now you can see that I have 6 iMessages right here, and I'm going to have to reply to those soon. But at the same time, those are coming from people that are, just into the Apple ecosystem. They have devices, Apple devices. So messaging them on Android would have been fine, but it's just gonna not be in the same group chat because the iMessage group chat was a little bit better for stuff like that. So at number 4 is Face ID. Face ID is just so seamless to use. When you go ahead and unlock, it's just a really seamless experience, and that's gonna go in at number 4. I find that Face ID tends to work very well, especially when you are using it on iPad as well. So kind of switching between the iPad and the iPhone feels like a very seamless experience. The next one is that iPhones just age better than Android phones in that they tend to have a little bit better durability in some respects. I'm not going to say all of them because some of the top competitors do have similar durability, but for a lot of other Android phones, these do have really good durability. Also, they age better in resale value. In addition to that, they age better in software because while Android phones do tend to update software a very long time now, sometimes longer than iPhone, the thing is that those software updates aren't as consistent as what we find on the iPhone. So like they all come in at the same time on the iPhone, and they all tend to give you similar features. Although they really dropped the ball with Apple Intelligence on phones like the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. Now, the next one is software updates. Software updates are definitely really going to be worth it here because, like I just mentioned, they come in at the exact same time, no matter which device you are using. So that's really a good thing because with the recent update to the One UI 7, I find on the competitor Samsung Galaxy, they really dropped the ball on that. They even had to pause the update because there was an issue with bugs. So I do find that the iPhone is the better one when it comes to software updates without having to wait. I will actually use the Apple's built-in apps. So this is another reason why I find the iPhone a little bit better than some. I do think Samsung competes very well with their own built-in apps, and the Google apps are also available for those devices as well. But the iPhone apps that are built in are actually pretty darn good to use, like the Apple Calendar, the Apple Calculator with those new history and those magic features where you can kind of like write and they kind of like automatically give you the calculation. So the built-in camera features. A lot of the built-in Apple apps are just really nice. They're nice and polished, including things like iMovie and stuff of that sort. So I do quite like the built-in Apple apps, and it's one of the reasons why I don't feel like I want to switch fully off of this platform. And another one is that Apple's resale value is wildly better. Like I talked about it earlier, but it's a lot better. Like most people buy this really fast. You go to sell it, it's like boom, they buy it. Like I've sold iPhones before and I posted and literally like 2 hours later, I hear a cha-ching on my phone reminding me that they just bought the iPhone. So that was a while ago. I haven't sold an iPhone in a while, but still, they sell very fast and they have a high resale value and trade-in value. Although I found that when I'm trying to get a Samsung Galaxy, they do lowball some of those trade-ins on the iPhone devices. Well, yeah, they definitely give you more for Galaxy phones on there. But definitely, even when Android wins in certain areas, for a lot of people, it's just not enough. And the reason why I think comes down to ecosystem. I think it comes down to iMessage and FaceTime. And for 2025, Apple knows this. This is why they can still put out phones that haven't really hardware changed massively for this long, and they still tend to do well. This one is really good on battery, and I do find that this year they know that it's been way too long, so we're going to see some nice changes. And I think iOS 19 is going to be preparing us for Apple foldables finally. So yes, from the hardware perspective, Apple tends to wait on the Android makers to do it first, see if it sticks, and then they do it. But they tend to do it when they're ready to do it, not when everybody says to do it. But for those reasons I mentioned in this video, it's why I still use iPhone and don't really plan to switch off of it anytime soon. What do you guys think? Do you have an iPhone? Are you staying with iPhone? Do you think I'm totally off base here? And don't get it wrong, just because I talk like this, you can say, oh, Nick's an Apple fan, but it's all he uses. No, I actually use S25 Ultra. I use other Android phones. I have a SIM dedicated to my Android devices, but I also use iPhone. And for main communications, the people I speak with, they all use iPhone. So they don't really like texting me on the Android phone, but I don't care what they like texting. I still use them because I like Android. But this is why I'm not going to go away from iPhone. So just so you know. And I made this video to help you out to understand some of the pros of this product right here. But I want to hear your thoughts about it. Have you left this experience? It's so fun to know, like, people's stories. Like, did you leave? Why did you leave? Did you leave and then you came back, or you plan on never coming? It's fun to talk about this even now in 2025. And with the upcoming 17 series, it's going to be even more fun as the year goes on. So let us know down below in the comments. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.